Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kurt, and welcome back to Farlands Bust. Farlands Bust. That's right, we're back in episode 461 of Farlands or Bust, and it is Wednesday. Wednesday, March 18th. Sorry, I don't know why I found that so funny. Wednesday. Such a weird day. But Wednesday, March 18th, 2015. Let's grab Wolfie, get rid of some miscellany, and continue east-west to the Farlands. And continue raising money for Child's Play charity. Now, a strange thing has happened. And I'm not sure what specifically is going on. Perhaps I should contact the Child's Play charity folk. But it would seem as though the Child's Play charity donation widget is reporting a lower number than what we had in the last episode. Unless I read it incorrectly, but no, I think I read it correctly. Were we not previously at $32,630.74? Was I wrong? Were we actually at $31,000? Because right now it's saying $32,125. So that would mean we lost $500. So we'll keep an eye on that. I suppose if you do think we lost $500, you could try to say, that's weird, let's make up for whatever unfortunate circumstance has happened, and head over to farlandsorbust.com and donate to help get toys, books, games to kids in hospitals around the world. That's like 2 Xboxes for a hospital, or multiple, two hospitals even. You don't have to send them to the same hospital. So, yeah, that's weird. I'll have to see what was up with that. Maybe I was reading the wrong numbers. Maybe we were actually at 31,000, but I don't think so. Because even the previous episode of that, wasn't that at 32,000 something? It could be there was a canceled charge or falsified donations or something. It better not be. I'm looking at you. That was just, I don't know who I'm looking at, but you, I shake my finger thustily. But yeah, anyway, regardless, in spite and or despite that strange situation, we are going to continue walking west to the Farlands here in Minecraft Beta 1.7.3. That's right, kids. We are playing an ancient version of the Vidge game. That's because the Farlands, the actual Farlands proper, do not exist in Minecraft Beta 1.8, the adventure update, and beyond. In those updates and in the current versions of the game, the Farlands do not. They are not. They no show. They are no shows. They do not exist. You can walk, but the Farlands, the features, I'm speaking specifically of the terrain generation features known as the Farlands do not exist. Some of the effects still exist, but you can just keep on walking to 30 million blocks before you fall off the edge of the world in the latest versions of the game. So that's why we're playing Minecraft Beta 1.7.3. No hunger bar. No enchantments. No food. Well, I mean, there's food, but it heals your hearts directly. No villages, no temples, no jungles, nothing like that. It's classic Minecraft here, and hopefully everybody enjoys reminiscing about the classic version of the game here. Classic. As much as I do. But we're going to continue on. Yes, today is Wednesday. Yesterday we held another Twitch Tuesday. Wanted to play some Universe Sandbox, but didn't work too well because I was using DxTory to record and stream at the same time. I did hear from the Universe Sandbox folks, and they have provided me with a workaround, so hopefully I'll either be able to attempt a stream of that again next Tuesday, or we'll just try to record a video for YouTube here. But yeah, that's Universe Sandbox 2, the sequel. And so instead we played a little bit more Besiege, but then we switched over to Lovely Planet. You all remember Lovely Planet, and played that for a rage-inducing hour or so. So that video will be showing up eventually on the YouTube channel. I do appreciate everybody checking that out. And I should, and I apologize if you're missing these streams because I'm not posting things to YouTube. It's just a hassle, I say. not really a hassle, but it's just kind of... I don't want to delay the live stream another half hour or so because I need to create and render and upload and publish a YouTube video saying I'm streaming. So if you are watching this, then know that I have been attempting to and will continue to attempt to make Twitch Tuesday a thing, a weekly... Oh! Careful, Wolfie. A weekly... What's the word I'm looking for? A weekly establishment here for Farlands or Bust. Well, not for Farlands or Bust, but for my YouTube and Twitch channel. So at least kind of that pig was was very adamant about jumping into the water as fast as possible. Well, so yeah, we'll be doing Twitch Tuesdays, live streaming on twitch.tv/KurtJMac on Tuesdays. So follow me on Twitter is a good place, and or Twitch, to get notified of when I do such things as these. Today, Wednesday, I was planning... See, here's the thing. I kind of teased and mentioned this during the live stream, but I have a thing. There's a thing happening on Friday. It is indeed related to YouTube, more specifically related to Farlands or Bust, and I can't disseminate too many details about it at the request of those involved. And you're probably not going to see or hear about it until later in the year. It's not like a TV show or anything else. I'm not writing a book. I'm not, it's not like a huge deal, but it's a little bit of a deal. But it does revolve around my physical appearance. So I was thinking, I should go to an actual barbershop and get my hair cut, the buzz cut. Still doing the Jason Statham thing. Do a buzz cut and actually have somebody with professional skill levels trim the old beard, the old Kurt J beard, back a little bit and get it a little bit under control. But I just can't do it. It's not anything. I'm not having a panic attack or anything like that. There was a few responses I got on Twitter where like, calm down, take some medication or something. No, it's I'm not poking light at anybody who does have legitimate social anxiety disorders, but just being in a new place. I don't know any of the places to go to. I don't know which of the barbershops do beard trims or not. On top of the fact I've never had... This is all DIY. It's an artisanal beard, like I've said about the Farlands or Bust website. I've never had a beard trim. I don't know what's involved, or what to ask for, or what to do. On top of the fact that I don't know any of the places around the new place, and basically I talked myself out of it. So hopefully, the handiwork that I've been doing myself, giving myself the Jason Statham buzz cut and mild trimming of the beard on my own will suffice for photographic purposes. But that was... I mentioned the bit about Friday during the live stream, but then I was going to go get my hair cut today, but that's not going to work. But I still have things to do. I got to run out, so I'm trying to record this episode of Farlands or Bust. I'm making an excuse here is what I'm doing. If it comes out a little bit late, I'm recording this, but I'm not going to be able to upload it until after I return from these errands upon which I must complete. These are tasks that have been laid before me in the real world that must be taken care of, so I will take care of them. Indeed, that's kind of the problem. It's a blessing and a curse. Working from home is that I couldn't see when I would have time. If I had your standard normal 9-to-5 office job or had to leave and go somewhere job, I don't see how and under what circumstance I'd be able to get anything done outside of that. Most of the stuff you need to get done, they're closed on the weekends too. So it's like, if I'm working Monday through Friday, when do I have time to do A, B, C, or D around the house or dealing with stuff? So that's the blessing part. The curse is that then, when you have to do these things, it interrupts your work schedule, and then you don't get any work done. Dang it! It is the plight of the self-employed, I suppose. If any of you watching are also self-employed or work from home, you you probably can back me up. Back me up, my brothers. What? But let's make the elevated hidey hole here. And then we will continue walking and continue answering questions. The backlog of questions from donors that I have here on my other monitor. We'll continue answering those in the morning. And awakeness. Errandsness. Let's look here. Donor questions. Got an anonymous donation, and they asked... Oh, I'm stuck. I'm stuck! Do you plan on doing a multiplayer with Paul Soares Jr. and or inviting him to the Flobathon? Well, all Mindacrackers are invited when I do Flobathon. Obviously not scheduled yet, because we have to reach that $50,000... Whoa! Flying attack! The $50,000 goal for Child's Play charity for Season 5 here. So I haven't scheduled the Flobathon, so certainly you'd be invited, but I know... Also, I think he's also self-employed, even beside his YouTube career, Paul Soares Jr., so he self-employed and he has a family, so even less available than I sometimes feel, I'm sure. So that's kind of a reason, a lot of people might ask, oh, why don't the guys, or why don't anybody do co-ops with Paul Soares Jr. or do this, that, or the other? And sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't, but for him in particular, I think he can get a pass on his lack of availability. Also, he doesn't go to gaming conventions because of the same reasons and stuff like that. But yeah, Paul Soares Jr. is cool guy. And that'd be cool at some point to do some sort of co-op or some sort of multiplayer thing with him, or even, like I said, just to have him on the Flobathon eventually, or something like a guest somewhere. So yeah, that'd be cool, but no specifics as of yet. I haven't talked to him in a long while. I don't think a lot of the guys have, simply because, like I said, his availability is less so than ours. Woof. From the name that could be some sort of medieval warlord, Torin Darkflight. Have you ever visited Meteor Crater in Arizona? Yes, I did. And I think on my DeviantArt, which is KurtJMac as well, I think I posted one of the panoramics? It's like a hammock, but panoramic. Panoramas that I took at Meteor Crater. It was the same trip that I went on, the same vacation that I went to the Grand Canyon for the first time. Went to Meteor Crater is like an hour or so east of Flagstaff, which is where you have to pass through to get to from Phoenix anyway, you have to get to the Grand Canyon. So I decided to take a trip to that. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty amazing thing. And then to think that a meteor, a rock from space, came in, what was that, some 50,000 years ago or something, is when the meteor hit. And just the sheer force and speed and power blew open this gigantic crater of amazingness in the middle of the desert. So it's a very cool thing. It is a little bit out of the way. I could see why perhaps most people might not take the trip to go see it, but I would recommend it. It's kind of cool. It is privately owned. It's not like a state park or anything, so there is like an entrance fee that is I don't know what it is, like $20 per person, 10, 12, 16, something like that. It's not outrageous, but it's more so than the $6 or whatever you pay to go to a state park per car or whatever. But yeah, I'd recommend it. You can't go down into it unless you're part of like a university course or a lesson, geologists or something like that. But excuse me, you can walk a short distance on the rim. You can get a guided tour and whatnot. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's one of those kind of weird, crazy. It's a wayward wonder of the world. Oh man, but yeah, I mean it's awesome just because it is a. There are other impact craters, but they've been worn away by the sands and winds and waters of time. This one is at 50,000 years old, a bit of a fresh one, so it still looks like a crater, as you can imagine a crater looks. So it's kind of neat. I would recommend it, kind of, if you are around and if you're inclined to be interested in geology and space and stuff. They have a little visitor center there, and they have a big chunk of part of the rock, the iron meteor that hit. I suppose it's a meteorite they have there, and it's really cool, really cool. So yes, I have been. Let's see here. Jonathan asks, have you been following the Planetary Society's light sail project? And if so, what are your thoughts on it? No, not exclusively. I used to belong to the Planetary Society, but I let my membership lapse. The light sail project, I think, isn't it kind of just a test? Oh, careful, Wolfie. A test satellite to test the feasibility and the theory of a solar sail as a method of interplanetary transport in the solar system. That's kind of a small thing. Did they actually send it to orbit? One or multiple? Or they're going to do another one, a bigger scale? I'm not sure. But yeah, basically it's a small scale satellite that launches up as kind of like a secondary payload with another commercial satellite, I think. It deploys like a foil sail, and then they try to measure the forces and the whatever forces the solar wind, the thermal energy, the solar energy puts upon the sail, and whether or not something like that could be theoretically harnessed to travel the depths of space. But yeah, I'm not sure if there's anything current or new that's changed or what. But yeah, that's pretty cool. The Planetary Society is kind of a neat group. They do help try to get, influence legislation to further the planetary sciences. They're not perhaps as, they're a little bit more specific about supporting planetary exploration versus the manned exploration. They agree and support both, obviously, but they're very much in support of the Mars rovers, the mission to Europa that's supposedly going to get funded. In fact, the Mars rover, the sundial on the Mars rover, is from the Planetary Society. It's designed by and made by, I don't know about made by, but at least designed by, so it is like the Planetary Society's thing on Mars, on the the heck is this? No, it's just a cave. So it's pretty cool. Right now it was started by Carl Sagan and a few others at the time, but it's now being headed by Bill Nye. Bill Nye, the science guy, is the president of the Planetary Society. So yeah, I would recommend planetary.org is their website if you want to check it out. They have a good blog. That's one of the blogs. Like Monday, I answered a question about where do you get your space news. Planetary.org has blogs. You subscribe to those, and then you get more news based on planetary sciences. Some of the policy they talk about, government policy, NASA policy, but also, what's happening, say, with the Dawn spacecraft, the cometary landers, and all that fun stuff. So I would highly recommend that as another web address to check out. Zachary asks, what is your favorite meme? Mine is the 60s Spider-Man meme. Woof. I get a good chuckle out of the why you do this meme. Specifically the one with the baseball bat being flung into the crowd. Why you do this? But, yeah, I don't know if I'm not a meme fan. I don't scroll through the Reddits or the Imagers, excuse me, or other places. But it is every once in a while I'll see something that makes me chuckle, but I can't really place my finger on anything specific other than that. You know, it is kind of cool. In certain situations, like the overly attached girlfriend, actually, she started as a meme, but she has turned it into quite a successful YouTube career of her own on her YouTube channel. So that's kind of a cool side effect thing. She's transcended memehood and actually is a good vlogger and has a good YouTube channel. So yeah, that's one of the vlog channels I subscribe to. Let's see here. Let's get to these sandy shores of this beach here, make the elevated hidey hole, and then I'll continue answering questions in the morning. ... ellipses, dramatic pause. William Shatner. There's something on the wing. Something on the wing. That was a terrible impression. That was like an impression of Jim Carrey doing an impression of William Shatner from The Twilight Zone. That was horrible. Let's go to sleep and forget all about that and continue in the morning. And awakeness. So let's see here. We've got a question from White Fang. White Fang asks, have you tried any of the local coffee or tea places yet, or are you still using Intelligentsia, if at all? Kind of along the same thing of I don't know what sort of barber situation to try to find in the new area. I still order my coffee via the internet. I did try a local place for that and was mildly happy with it. It's obviously Chicago, surprisingly, is fairly abundant with the local coffee roasters. There are quite a few from Chicago, so I still do order from Chicago. I did get Intelligentsia. What's my recent batch is from? Where is it from? I got Intelligentsia. I think I ordered Beau Truss. The latest one is from. No, I can't think of the name. But yeah, another Chicago one. I did order from Stumptown. That is Portland, I believe. So I did still. I thought maybe one of the perks of living in Chicago was that the coffee gets to you really fast. Still gets to you fast elsewhere in the United States. So you don't have to technically buy local to get the freshest coffee beans. But I still buy stuff from out yonder, Chicago and whatnot. But yeah, I haven't really perused. Like I think I answered this last episode too. I haven't really found many new. I mean, I have, but you know, food places, restaurants, and whatnot. I did find, surprisingly enough, I didn't mention this in the last episode. There was I haphazardly happened upon a vegan restaurant in the area, a vegetarian vegan restaurant. It's kind of a hidden place. You wouldn't know about it. It's very hipstery. It is a little bit hipstery. It's a vegan place, of course it is, but very good gluten-free selection. I'm not vegetarian or vegan myself, but that was it's a surprise, a local surprise, to be in the area and be looking for food and be like, well, this place is vegan, but you could try it out. And I was not disappointed. There's another meme for you. But yeah. Indeed. So there's that. Let's see here. Raging Caucasian. Didn't we have another question from you before? Asks, did you play with Lego as a child? If so, what sort did you like to build? Of course I did. Did you not see my Kurt Builds the Lego Space Shuttle video? One of my first vlogs? But yes, I did have Lego. I had the older Space Shuttle, the little tiny one. Had a lot of the pirate things. I had the Black Sea Barracuda, which was like the really big pirate ship. Had a lot of pirate things. Had a couple of like race cars and things. had the little space shuttle. I did have a few of the Lego Technic models, but those I didn't like as much because you like built them and it's like, oh cool, the wheel steer and it has like active suspension on this dune buggy or whatever I built, but it doesn't match any of the other Lego stuff, so it wasn't really my personal cup of tea. So yes, I indeed did build Lego as a kid. And then also, what was the longest drive you ever made? What did you do to keep yourself from being bored out of your mind? Well, the longest drive was probably not one that I made, but my dad and or parents made, because as a kid, we took family vacations, but we never flew anywhere. Perhaps you can associate yourself with this as well. We always drove places. So from Chicago, I think the longest, we went to Ohio, Cleveland, and Cedar Point once, but I don't think that's the longest. We did go to South Dakota. We drove to South Dakota, did the whole Badlands thing, and Mount Rushmore, and all that jazz. That might have been the longest drive. When I was a baby, like 1 year old, we supposedly drove out to the East Coast where I have some family, but I was but a wee sprout and had no self-awareness or any sort of recollection of such a thing. Oh, careful, Wolfie. Don't drown. But me, myself, and I, the longest drive I've ever done, probably maybe on one of these vacations, such as, like I was saying, driving to the Grand Canyon. I haven't really done much multi-state things. Driving around New Mexico. I did like a loop around New Mexico. Started in Albuquerque, went around the east, then down south to the White Sands, then up north through Las Cruces, and there's mountains out there to the left. I don't know what specifically they're called. That was kind of a long drive, but it was a multi-day drive. Of course, visit to Oregon. We went from Portland out to the west coast, and then down the west coast a while, and then back up diagonally back to Portland, and then out east to the what is the river gorge, the Gorge River, Gorge W. Bush, Columbia River Gorge, and then did the whitewater rafting and stuff. And these aren't really specifically long drives. I suppose some people could say, oh, I drove from coast to coast. Space Coast, coast to coast. But I haven't done that. I don't know. I'm kind of... I like driving, but it would have to be a rather planned out thing to do an actual, like, road trip from point A to point B, or as a vacation itself, I suppose. I don't know. I tend to like doing things more than driving through things. Does that make sense? Like, if I want to go to the Grand Canyon, I'm not going to drive to the Grand Canyon. I'm going to fly to the nearest city and then go to the Grand Canyon. So that's the way I work. In that case, it's about the destination and not the journey. Right, Wolfie? Sploosh. Do I still have a boat? I do not. Thumbs up, man. Thumbs up. Does that not look like a thumbs up? You're looking at it wrong. You gotta look at it like this. I'm telling you right now, you're looking at it wrong. Yeah, there we go. Thumbs up! Thumbs up. Let's actually make this a more appropriate thumb. Thumbs up, man. Oops, that's wrong. That's all wrong. It's kind of a pointy thumb, but thumbs up! There we go. Gotta get some wider knuckles there. Thumbs up, my friends. I'm losing my mind. I'm starting to draw in the sand. Draw? drawings. All right. Let's see what other questions we got here. From some guy left a donation and a question. Do you like taking pictures? If you do, what's the best picture you've ever taken and the best picture you're in? I do like taking pictures. I did take a photography class, like I mentioned, in college. It was film photography, where we had to, it was more about the process of developing and printing, like making a print and stuff like that, I suppose. I do like taking pictures. I, as of late, am very much into those photo stitches, the panorama. I suppose I have some pretty good, cool pictures of, like, Meteor Crater and the Grand Canyon and the shores of Oregon and all that stuff. But the best picture? I don't know if I have a best picture I ever took. I used to go to a lot of car shows and take pictures of the cars at car shows, like classic car shows, and some of those turn out pretty good. But nothing that I would consider really, like, hang on a wall worthy or anything like that. So yeah, like taking pictures. I wouldn't call myself much of a photographer. I know some stuff, more than the average bear, but not too much. I don't know why I called myself a bear. He's smarter than the average bear. That's why I was making a reference. But, woo. Yeah, I like taking pictures. I attempted some photography of, like, when the International Space Station flies over. That's kind of cool. If you do a long exposure, you can get the International Space Station trail. Also, lunar eclipses and whatnot. Kind of cool to photograph. If you get, like, an intervalometer to take pictures every 30 seconds or so, and then stitch that together into a movie. But otherwise, I can't say I've gone out of my way for particular photographic perfection of any description. All right, let's block ourselves up here. Oops. Before a pig joins us. No pigs welcome. And was there any other part of that? What's the best picture you're in? Probably the one where I am in front of Space Shuttle Atlantis. Not at Kennedy Space Center, Visitor Center, but before it was transferred there for the SpaceX NASA Social. We got to go in the orbited processing facility where it was still being processed for display at the museum. And we were like, they had to tell us not to touch. Do not touch the space shuttle, because it is going to be within reach. So that's kind of a cool picture to have had. Whether or not it's, I just had somebody in the part of the NASA Social, here, take my picture. Okay, yay. So nothing too crazy, amazing, photographically wise, but I suppose we could add that to the list maybe. But yeah, there we go. Thank you for all these questions and the donations. I'll have to check out what is the deal. What is the deal with the Child's Play charity widget that is reporting less raised this episode versus the last episode? We'll check that out. We'll get that figured out. But still, I doth declare that all of your donations are going directly to Child's Play charity, childsplaycharity.org. And we're still working towards our $50,000 goal for Season 5 here. Thank you so much for watching. I just accidentally placed my workbench, and my name is Kurt. I will see you, there we go, next time.